I am unfortunately unable to make a video for you today. I am extremely busy working. Turns out this federal jobs guarantee thing might not happen for me. But I wanted to briefly talk about Super Tuesday. So I will give it like 20 seconds to see if anybody comes in here. If not, I will just go. But all right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do it. So here's the deal. What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? Exactly what I told you was gonna happen. Exactly what I told you was gonna happen. Now, I didn't know, and this is why I've been wanting to make videos the last few days. I just been out shooting and I can't get back to record in time. But man, the dominoes fell so perfectly for Joe Biden over the last few days. When Mayor Pete dropped out, I was jaw on the floor like, Pete? Not my guy Pete, because he dropped out right before my event, so I was going to go see him. Amy was supposed to be here on Tuesday. I was going to go see her in Tulsa. She drops out. So when those two things happen, that obviously paved the way for the moderates to consolidate. And as we've been talking about for the last 3.5, 4 weeks or so, if the moderates just consolidate, they can probably overtake Bernie Sanders. Like, that was the problem. Too many weak candidates stretching out the vote, making it very hard for people to actually accumulate like more than 15%. And that's exactly what we saw. We saw Biden slipping nationally. And it wasn't because, I mean, obviously, you know, he's Joe Biden. I'm not saying that Joe Biden is a great candidate or anything. But what I'm saying is that what do you expect when you have all these people in there who are constantly going between second place and third place, and then they go back up, then they win a state, and it's just like, why would I drop out when I legitimately have a chance to win? And who's going to be the person who's like, oh no, I'm giving up right now when this thing is completely wide open? So unless there was a consolidation of the moderate candidates, then this was going to happen. It was going to be an unsurmountable lead, and Bernie Sanders was going to win. They obviously decided to finally have that conversation. Why the day before Super Tuesday, I have no idea, but they had it, and off to the races. Joe Biden is now the front runner once again. He's at 460 delegates or so. If you check my Twitter, I have the latest delegate count up there. Joe Biden's winning. Bernie Sanders, so the question is, did Bernie Sanders lose? Or did, and it's funny because, see, I never tried to be that crazy irrational Andrew Yang supporter, that crazy irrational progressive, because you see them backtracking, they're moonwalking left and right today, because they've been telling me for the longest, people don't vote along the lines of ideology. They just vote on I don't know what the hell they were saying. People know they're voting for the candidate specifically, and there's just they just like Bernie. Like, well, they like Bernie, but they also evenly like everybody else. And if everybody else was gone and they had to choose the moderate who's left, then the moderate who's left is going to absorb most of that vote. Yes, some of it will go across the line, but if you see somebody who is supporting a moderate candidate, it's going to be hard for that same person to want to vote for Bernie Sanders. Like, they're just so radically different. It's why I kept telling y'all, Andrew Yang ain't no progressive. He never aligned himself with Bernie Sanders specifically on a lot of the key issues, the Medicare for all, some of the immigration stuff. Like, he just never went that line, and he always kind of said, oh yeah, me and Joe Biden are tight. And when you hear him say, let the process play out, that is a moderate position. Let the process play out. Why would let the process play out be his position? Because he's a moderate. If he was in the Bernie camp, he'd be like, nope, follow who has the majority. Whoever has the majority vote should win. That's it, no matter who it is. He said that because he's not supporting Bernie Sanders. Like, he doesn't support Bernie. He doesn't hate Bernie. He doesn't dislike Bernie. He just doesn't think that Bernie is the guy. Now, again, I think that Joe Biden will still lose to Trump anyway. It's not like a vote for Bernie or a vote for Biden is a vote for victory for the Democrats. No, they're a loss. It's over. This thing is over. Trump is laughing right now. Has he even spent any of his money? Has Trump spent any of his money? I mean, he's running like 2 ads. Like, this thing is just too easy for him. But I titled this video, did Bernie lose or did Biden win? Because Bernie very well could have won. And the reason why he lost is because he maintained this rigidity he he wasn't being flexible enough. Calling yourself a democratic socialist, look, I don't care what you are, you ain't gotta lead with that, bro. Like, you can keep that to yourself. You know what I mean? Keep it to yourself if you want to win. If you know that people are going to hear that phrase and you have to then explain to them what that means, it's just like, why bother, bro? Like, just be like, look, there's problems with capitalism. I want to fix them. That's what Andrew Yang did. Andrew Yang came out and told you, look, I'm a capitalist, but there's fundamental challenges with capitalism, and capitalism unmitigated is going to be a disaster for regular American people. That was his position. That was his position. He wasn't like, let's burn it down. Like, we don't have to burn it down. Like, we don't have to burn it down. We can disagree. Elizabeth Warren, that's the real loser here, okay? Elizabeth Warren is the real loser because in seeing the way things have worked out, it really does seem now that Elizabeth Warren, not that she could have won either, she could have actually probably won. If she had presented herself from the beginning as the moderate who works with people, not as radical as Bernie, woman, strong in the debates, and she had that fight, she had those last couple of rounds against Bloomberg, she might have had a legitimate shot at this race. I mean, she's still not the most likable, but she's definitely more likable than Hillary Clinton. But yeah, and now the problem for Warren is that she's not going to join forces with Bernie Sanders, which is what she would need to, or that's what Bernie needs to happen. Bernie needs her to join in. By the way, Bloomberg just dropped out. So Bloomberg has spent $530 million or so, all for naught. But, I guess it helped. It brought awareness to the election, which somehow is going to work its way over to Joe Biden, because now Joe Biden's going to win. I don't know. It's just funny how Bloomberg didn't matter at all before, and now Bloomberg is like the big deal. Like, wow. Look back at, Warren will join Biden. Yeah, I believe that. She's going to join Biden because, she's party loyalty. She's a progressive, but, she's not trying to go full Bernie. So it's really sad that I think that Bernie could have won. I wish, and again, I've been saying the same thing. Nothing that I'm really saying now is anything new. It's what I've been saying. If you had looked at the polls and you looked at the numbers and you saw the issues, you could have predicted that this is ideologically, or this is logically what probably would have happened if they ever consolidated. They just didn't. I know why they didn't. It's hard. It's hard to give up when you feel like you got a chance to win, man. And I get it, but once that obstacle is gone, it's over. Like, it's over. And now the progressives they're mad, and they're teaming up on us. Like, what did you think was going to happen? You knew this from before. You knew that this was the conversation, and now the question about having the majority of the vote, now that's Joe Biden. So I see people talking about, now they're going back to Joe Biden and his gaffes. First of all, this is a lot of people's problem. I don't care about gaffes. Gaffes doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you a bad politician. It doesn't mean that your heart's not in the right place. It doesn't mean you can't get anything done. It just means that maybe public speaking isn't your forte. That's fine. I don't care about that. People like Joe Biden. Joe Biden can probably get something done. Now, what you should have been attacking Joe Biden on, and what you should, is attack his policy, and that's fine. But now the people are saying that Joe Biden should drop out. Remember when y'all were trying to tell me Andrew Yang should, Bernie Sanders should drop out and support Andrew Yang, and I would tell you, why would he do that? That makes absolutely no sense. That's crazy. I'm not jumping off that bridge with you to say crazy things just because I like a guy, all right? I like Andrew Yang. He was my guy, but I'm not going to say something stupid just because it's what I want. You know what I mean? I'm going to give you the facts. I'll interject my opinion, but for the most part, we're keeping it pretty rational, pretty realistic around here. If you're winning, you're not dropping out to support somebody else because you think they have a better shot. That doesn't even make any sense. Like, come on. It makes no freaking sense. And like I said, I've seen the videos roll out. Oh, Bernie, or he's a gaffe machine, and this is their candidate. No. These are the ideas that most of the people in the Democratic Party believe in and support. You have a very vocal, Very well organized, and I commend you for that. Your progressive movement within the Democratic Party is amazing. What Bernie Sanders has built is fantastic. But know that the values that they hold don't speak to the entirety of the party. And as long as that's not the entirety of the party, you're going to be that strong, very well organized 30% forever. It is what it is. Oh, I just got a phone call. I've heard Bernie Castro comments everywhere. People hated it coming from him. Surprises. Biden won Massachusetts and Minnesota. It's just like, and now going back to belief, because this is what I tell you, I'm a storyteller. I make films because of belief, because of story, because of feeling. Now that people see that Biden's winning, they're not going to get off the gas and be like, oh, no, I'm going to go support Bernie Sanders. No, they're going to be like, well, if Biden is winning now, I can support him and feel confident that he has the best chance, even though he doesn't. Well, I mean, I guess I say he does have the best chance, but he still can't beat Trump. But yeah, people are going to feel confident voting for Biden at this point. So it's probably over. But watch them try to spin this thing, man. Just watch them try to spin this. Oh, the party they're trying to cheat. They're trying to change the system. No, they didn't try to change this. I mean, you knew it. You knew who you were running against. You knew what the ideas were. You could have looked at the same polling data that I've been looking at, and you would have known exactly what people want. And you could have said, hey, maybe it's time for me to adjust my Medicare for all policy. I know it's divisive. Like, let me try to show that I can work within the party. You're tweeting out, they can't stop us. You can't stop us, Republican Party. You can't stop us, Democrat. Like, what is that? Like, what is that? Like Bernie, when you were the crazy science teacher with good ideas, like, that was cool. But you came into this election and you're feeling yourself, man. You're a little cocky now. You got your rock stars opening up for you, and you're talking trash on Twitter. It's just like, that's not what we do. You don't have to do that at all. You can just be like, look, there's problems. I want to fix them. Whatever. Like, just don't be a jerk. And you became a jerk, and you've built this crew of jerks who follow behind you, who think that you can bully people into supporting your ideas. And it's just like, I made that video the other day, and I'm just like kind of joking about Bernie Sanders' finances, and people are like in that video attacking me like, oh, you're slandering Bernie Sanders. Like, dude, relax. It's not that serious. Like, like it's not that serious. Why are you so mad? Why? What if Biden teams up with Bernie to beat Trump? Yeah, they could do that. But I think people just underestimate how many people support Donald Trump. Like, Donald Trump he's at a 49% popularity. Like, it's not like I know the mainstream media hates him. I know the Democratic establishment hates him, but people like him. Like, other people like him. And you have to understand that. Like, you're not gonna bully people into believing what you want them to believe. Like, you have to be some kind of moderate. Like, I know that you are hardcore about certain things, but if you want to get anything done in this country and you want to work with people, because you're gonna have to, there's gonna have to be some give and take. And unless you can appreciate that and respect that, then you're never going to be a good or effective politician, ever. I know that. I don't do politics, but I know if I got a wife and I'm trying to tell her what to do, that's not the best way to get things done. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to have to compromise. So what's the point? You know what I mean? Like, what's the point? Just be prepared. Like, I understand the come in with a strong position, but these ain't business deals. You're doing the will of the people. You know what I mean? Like, it's not about you. So if you're just doing the will of the people, why don't you just come in with the will of the people and say, hey, Congress, this is what we want to do. This is what the people want to do. Let's do it. And then when they don't, then you go back to the people and say, hey, they're obstructing your will. I'm a vessel. I'm just a man who's doing what you want to do while you go to work every day. This is not about me. This is not about my legacy and me trying to be the guy who passed Medicare for all or the Affordable Care Act or whatever this legislation is. Like, stop that. That's the problem. I mean, it's not the only problem. Obviously, money, but you know. But yeah, it's just funny, man. It's it's just it's just funny. But yeah, I heard somebody saying, you know, there's too many politicians who are lawyers. Like the average politician's like a 50-year-old white lawyer, white male lawyer, and that doesn't reflect the society. And like that's true. Like that's a great observation. Like let's change things like that. Like let's encourage more people to get into office. Like, you know, AOC, not a fan, but you know, her background and her voice for whatever it is, like there's value in that, and I appreciate that. I mean, I don't want you speaking for everybody, but there's a group of people who you speak for, and that's cool. Like I don't have any problem with any of that at all. But when it's time to negotiate, like you got to understand that having some of those positions, just you just being divisive for no reason. Like you don't have to do that. Do you think there's a chance Biden will ask Yang to be his VP? No. No, there's no chance Biden will ask Yang to be VP. There's no chance. Andrew Yang, listen, I love Andrew Yang. Andrew Yang changed my life. Andrew Yang never polled more than 5% nationally. He is not going to be nobody's VP, period. It's just no way. You got to bring some people to vote. You know what I mean? Like, yes, he has a very vocal, very enthusiastic Yang Gang. But again, at most, the Yang Gang is 5% of the party. So that's not enough. Or not 5% of the party. It's 5% nationally. Maybe we'll say it's 6-7%. That's not enough. It's not enough. You know what I mean? He's going to go for a woman. I see he's tweeting about Obama or Michelle Obama, or there's an article written about Michelle Obama. I see Kamala Harris being floated. Like, look, he's going to play the identity politics card. He's going to go for the black woman or the other, whatever the other is. So it might even be Mayor Pete while you're sleeping. Might be Mayor Pete. And this is where the Democrats lost. The Democrats lost this race 3 years ago. If they had been grooming Mayor Pete 3 years ago to win this race, then he could have won. Mayor Pete could have won. But they left him out there, or I don't know, maybe he just wasn't on the radar, or I don't know how he got to his prominence in 2018, 2019. But if he had been put in that position and they had really built up his image as they've built every aesthetic to his career, he could have been the nominee. Like he checks a lot of boxes. He could have been a great I don't know about a great leader, but he could have won. And I think that's why he dropped out. I think he dropped out because I do believe that he may have been approached about that VP slot, because him dropping out when he did was just extremely odd. Like the Andrew Yang was extremely odd, but Pete to me was the next most surprising. I was just like, why would he drop out now? Like I know that they say he doesn't have any support in minority communities, and you know he doesn't have a lot of the money, but I mean you already made it to right up to Super Tuesday, and you know it's clearly a play to consolidate the moderate vote, but it's just I don't know. I thought that was just weird. You hope I started organizing. Listen, I'm out here in these streets, okay? Because if we learn nothing from Bernie, it's about what you do in your community in your time. So that's why I'm not making a video. I'm actually out here at this. I told you guys I have 2 goals. I didn't have a mission for the longest. I have a very clear vision now. My goal is to end poverty, okay? End poverty and mass incarceration. So those are the 2 things that I focus on. And today I'm actually shooting a short documentary for a nonprofit in the city that is for getting people out of like bad situations and restructuring their life and getting them out of poverty. And that's in line with what I'm trying to do. So I'm trying to make an impact locally because, again, my voice in 4 years is going to matter a lot more than it matters today. And this is how you do it. Like, you know what I mean? This is how you do it. It's not, and me, even me saying what I said about Andrew Yang, like, maybe he needs to drop UBI, not because I don't think UBI is an important thing or because I don't think it's a great idea, but if it's going to be so divisive that it prevents him from winning an election, I would rather work within the confines of the system and put people in different places and say, hey, we'll work this thing up, we'll bubble it up across the country, and then we'll move forward with Andrew Yang as president to get UBI done, and it not be the central part of his platform. Like, I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay with people doing different things to accomplish a single goal. So, can I get that $1,000 Buffy? Sorry, Ev, I can't even make that happen for you, man. Can't even make that happen. But yeah, so that's why I said I can't make a video today, because I'm out here and we're about to shoot this documentary, and this lady, she's doing wonderful things, she's changing lives, and these are the stories again that need to be told, because let's humanize these people, these broken people who they're just people who fallen for grace for whatever reason. They have an unfortunate circumstance, they leave an abusive relationship, they fall into drugs, they go to jail. Like, I mean, not even that sometimes, it's just sometimes life isn't kind to people for different reasons. So let's see what we can do to fix that, and if I can make some small impact, or at least amplify their message. This lady is she's kind of a big deal too. She works with like a lot of the news organizations in the area, and she's kind of plugged in. So contacts, man. We're moving strategically, right? So UBI only works at the federal level. Yeah, I think the thing about UBI, I don't think it only works at the federal level, but the funding mechanism is very, very important. So we need that VAT. Like, if the VAT didn't exist, then UBI to me would have just been, don't even bother. But because he brings VAT, that makes it seem like, okay, you got a radical idea, but you have a way to pay for it, and it's a way that makes sense. I think it's a way that people can get behind, you know what I mean? Plus, he has a lot of different policies where he's cutting spending, getting rid of the penny, and just all types of little things. Plus, he's about AI. Like, Andrew Yang as president, to me, is so valuable that I would rather have him be president, even if I can't have UBI, because of what he's going to do for us in the future. Do I want to get everything? Yeah, I want the whole bag. But you know what I mean? If we can't get the whole bag, trust me, your life will improve with an Andrew Yang administration. He wants to change. He wants to change that scorecard. Why didn't Bernie Sanders ever say, hey, we need to get rid of GDP as our prime measurement, and let's implement a scorecard? I have no idea. It makes perfect sense. It's perfectly in line with his platform. I don't know. He for some reason chose not to go that far, but he goes really far on other things. It's just, I don't know, man. Like, it's just, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, man. Bernie's kind of set in his ways. He's been doing this thing for a while, and I get it, but like, I just feel like he had a real good opportunity. He had a great organization. He's got okay ideas, I guess, but he's just got to work within the confines of the system, and he's got to give the people what they want. Like, it just can't be, I'm going to give you what Bernie wants because Bernie knows what's best. Like, I beat up on everybody who just goes that far. Like, there's no reason for that. We have all the data in the world and even another thing, go back and look at the data. The data that we've been looking at, the data that I present to you guys, is fairly consistent with what we see. It's not like people keep saying these polls are fake. Like, which polls are fake? Most of the polls we looked at have been fairly reliable. I mean, so yeah, I mean, like I said, some of that national stuff, but that was with the progressive vote spread apart. Now that it's consolidated, the ideas of what people like about Medicare for all, the ideas about what people like about Am I connected? We all lost. It's pretty clear the Dems can't get out of their own way. We're getting another 4 years of Trump. Yeah. Well, listen, it could have been a victory, right? It could have been a victory, but we're just playing the wrong game. I'm back. Of course, I'm back after I step out of the car. Never mind the politics. We're now. What? Yeah. But I could have had Yang. Yes, could have had Yang. I guess tomorrow. Is today Wednesday? Tomorrow is the announcement. I'm sorry if it's super loud. Tomorrow is the announcement. He'll be making his announcement on The View. So I guess I'll be covering that. I should be back. I have to edit this documentary in one day, so. But like I said, it's for a good cause. We're making a difference, and I just wanted to let you guys know that, like, when I'm gone, it's for a good reason. It's for a good cause, and I think that you know, making a local impact is gonna means a lot. Oh, it's today. Okay. Oh, my bad. Is it today? Jeez. Wednesday. Okay. So, so I'm gonna get out of here, man. I appreciate you guys. I'll probably, you know what, I might even let you guys see this, since you guys never see any of my work, but I'll probably release this just so you can see what we're working on. But yeah, like I said, this is a really special thing. As you can see, I'm out in the hood. Well, I'm in the hood. Okay, I'm out here in the streets, and we're making a difference, right? So you guys have an awesome day. You guys, you know, you can email me at info.humanityfilms@gmail.com if you have any topics for me. And I'm like super busy, but as soon as I clear these things up, I'm gonna be back dropping videos. We got a lot to talk about. We're still covering the election. We're still getting our hands dirty out here in the streets, because I will never be relegated to the position of being a commentator. I am a person who is out here trying to make a difference in the world, and hopefully you guys can help me to do so. So thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you guys in the next video.